a billionaire dies, his family expects grief, inheritance, and legacy. What they don't expect is betrayal. In 2019, the family of one of West Africa's most powerful businessmen walked into a lawyer's office to hear the reading of his will. What they heard next would shatter their lives and hand his empire to a boy no one had ever met. This is the story of the Mistress's son. It began in the late 1980s. A man named Chief Adewale started with a single truck, ferrying goods from Lagos to Port Harcourt. Nigeria was chaotic then, coups, recessions, and sanctions. But Adewale thrived. He built alliances with politicians, secured government contracts, and by the early 2000s, his conglomerate, Adewale Group, stretched across oil, real estate, and cement. Worth over $2 billion, Adewale became a household name. But every empire has shadows, and for Adewale, it was his personal life. He was married for decades to Lady Funke, a woman who quietly co-signed many of his loans and stood with him in public. But behind closed doors, Adewale had another family, a mistress and a son. In the elite circles of Lagos, whispers followed Adewale everywhere. Rumors of affairs were nothing new, but this was different. This mistress wasn't just a fling, she was permanent. She had a boy, a son named Dayo. Unlike his legitimate children, Dayo grew up outside the spotlight. No photos, no headlines, no mention at family events. To the public, he didn't exist. But to Adewale, Dayo was more than a secret. He was an heir. When Chief Adewale died suddenly in 2019 from a stroke, his family was devastated. His wife Funke and their 3 children gathered, expecting to take control of the empire he built. But at the will reading, the room froze. Adewale's lawyer announced that 51% of the Adewale Group was left to Dayo, the son of his mistress. Not only that, Funke discovered she had personally guaranteed over $500 million in loans tied to Adewale Group. Without her husband, she was financially exposed. And now, a 21-year-old outsider, a boy she had never accepted, was in control. What followed was chaos. The legitimate children sued, claiming fraud. Lady Funke accused the mistress of manipulating the old man in his final years. Investors panicked, pulling out of deals. Banks, terrified of instability, began to demand loan repayments. Rival companies pounced, spreading rumors that the Adewale empire was finished. Within 6 months, projects stalled, workers went unpaid. The conglomerate that took 30 decades to build was unraveling not because of business failure, but because of family betrayal. In court, the drama deepened. Lawyers dissected Adewale's will. Handwriting experts were brought in. Was it genuine or forged? Was Adewale of sound mind when he signed? The case dragged on. Funke argued she had invested her life, her reputation, and her money, only to be discarded. The children claimed they were cheated of their inheritance. And Dayo? He argued he was the true heir, the only one the chief trusted. The trial became national gossip. Headlines painted it as a Shakespearean tragedy, an empire destroyed not by competitors, but by secrets. So, what do we learn from the mistress's son? First, succession is not just a family issue, it's a governance issue. Adewale left no clear succession plan, no shareholder protections, and no corporate governance to separate family from business. The result? Chaos. Second, personal secrets have business consequences. What you hide in the dark will surface in the boardroom. And third, wealth without structure is fragile. The empire was built on power, but collapsed under mistrust. These stories are all over the world, but the lesson is very real. Document your agreements, protect your legacy, and remember, the fact that you are blood doesn't mean you can't get messed up by the ones you trust. If this story made you pause, subscribe for more on the dark side of business.